People on the internet are kind of silly though. They're kind of quirky with it. They're kind of silly with it. I do love whenever I get like 50 comments that are like, "Did your lawyer see this?" And it's like this photo. It'll be like their comments on this post. I posted this yesterday about how a bigger looking butt could be a sneaky sign of autism and ADHD. I'm afraid I'm not beating the ADHD allegations. And I posted this, and then there'll be like replies, and it's like, "Did your lawyer see this?" It's like, "Yes, let me send my lawyer my thirst trap." I need him to know. I need him to know that I'm thirst trapping on the internet. Okay, sure, man. Whatever you say, sure. You're a lawyer. Looks good. Why did you show me this? Oh my God. Anyways. Oh, I do. Sorry. Can I share these? I love. See, this is why, unfortunately, I'm like one of the worst people to try and harass on the internet. Because I like reading the hate comments. Because they're so funny. I saw there's like a couple people in here that are like, "You have a weird body." And there was one comment that was like, "Your ass is literally normal size." God, I wish that were true. God, I wish that were true. Do you know how annoying it is that I can't buy paired items? You know how like people get to buy like a pajama set? I can't buy a fucking pajama set. If I try and buy a pajama set that isn't like mix and matchable, I have to split the difference. And I have to get a medium, which is too tight in like pants and shorts, and it's too loose for tops. God, I wish that were me. Do you know how in Malden, I will never forget the most recent, well, not never forget, the most recent not terrifying, why am I using these adjectives? The most recent atrocity against me, I went to an Urban Outfitters and I picked up this pair of jeans, and it was like pinstripe, white and blue. And they were so cute. They were so cute from the front. They look like shit on the computer right now. It wasn't these ones, but they looked like this. Maybe I can find like a different picture that looks better. They looked better than this. This looks like atrocious, but they looked so cute in person. They looked closer to like this. They kind of had less washed out vibe. I know this is an American flag, but they looked so cute. And then I turned around, and not only was my ass flattened, it was also pouring out of the top like a souffle that overflowed. And I was like, I literally can't wear this. I literally cannot buy this item that I want because it looks so cute from the front. But it looks, it's literally unwearable. So I like that one. I like that one. That one's good. I also like the one guy who just screenshotted a photo, or like screenshotted in this photo my leg. That was a pretty good one as well. Let me see if I can find it. This one was pretty good too. No. What? No. What? I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what he's saying no to. No. It's like when you hold up a cross to like a demon. You're like, what do they say? What do exorcists say? The Holy Spirit commands you. The Holy Spirit commands you. You can't enter my house if I don't let you enter my house. It's like, no. Oh God. Anyways, those are pretty good. I like their replies. I really like their replies. Man. Anyways. What are they even mad about? The power of Christ compels you. Sorry. I'm not a Christian. I don't know. I haven't been raised in the Christian lore. I apologize. Okay, moving on. We're not incel enough to know what was wrong there. Yeah, sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you're just too out of touch. Sometimes we're just too out of touch, chat. Okay, moving on though. I saw this clip of this guy, Clav, on Michael Knowles' show, because he did get on Michael Knowles' show. Where I had the YouTube link here somewhere. I'll just reopen it. That's okay. Michael Knowles. He brought this guy. No. What is this fucking garbage? No. Okay. He brought this guy on. I would hit myself in the face with a hammer. Michael and the LOOKSMAXXING. And I saw this clip making the round, so I was like, well, we have to watch the full video, but let's go.
Newsom against JD Vance, because JD Vance is subhuman, and this next election cycle, who's going to win? It's going to be Gavin Newsom against JD Vance, because JD Vance is subhuman and Gavin Newsom mugs.
JD Vance is subhuman?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
He's got a very short total facial width to height ratio. He's obese, very recessed side profile, whereas Newsom is like 6'3" Chad.
So JD's very tall. JD's got to be,
well, still,
6'2",
I mean,
6'3".
Gavin Newsom obviously mogs him to death.
So you're a Newsom head. You prefer Newsom to the vice president.
I'm just telling you who's going to win.
Do you prefer him though?
Honestly, it's hard to say, but Newsom being that much more of a mogger and like having a president who's like fat and especially that young,
You think he's? I don't think he's fat.
I would say
He's a bigger guy for sure.
it's just like it's just embarrassing. Like, how are you fat and you expect to like lead a country? You can't even be in shape, you know?
So you got, let's say you got a vote. It's 2028.
I'm voting
now
for Gavin Newsom.
You're
Just
voting
like
for Gavin Newsom.
You can't be that subhuman.
So you, hold on, you got, all right, well, this actually is of a thread with the whole conversation, because you look at these two candidates. You have Gavin Newsom, worst governor in the country. I think we would all agree, destroyed his state, let its main city burn to the ground because of his incompetence, is a personal, complete derelict, liar, degenerate. But he is good looking. I'll grant you that he's good looking.
Yep.
And kind of looks like Patrick Bateman, American Psycho.
Hey.
And then you have,
Muted. God fucking damn it. Muted. God damn it. Based. Am I right? Based, dude. I know that I literally said this 2 seconds ago, and anyone with 2 eyes can understand this, but like literally, shapes and colors, first and foremost. And second, he literally saw American Psycho and thought, well, I just want to be that guy. It's like, you're not supposed to want to, he's supposed to be a compelling character, but you're not supposed to want to be him. It's like the Joker. The Joker is a compelling character. The character that Phoenix plays, it's a compelling character that's interesting to be on the screen, that has struggles, that has challenges, extreme challenges. And it's, I don't want to say more entertaining, but it's a more interesting story because it's not just like, oh, Superman, who has everything, has to like, you know, fight the bad guys again. It's a more interesting story because it's more complicated and more difficult to deal with. But you're not supposed to want to be him. You're supposed to empathize with him and think that maybe in some cases he's kind of auriful, but you're not supposed to want to be him. Darth Vader, compelling character, but you don't want to be that guy. Because these characters are like not well. They're not well. They're not doing well. But that's what makes villains compelling, right?
have this vice president to President Trump, the transformative right-wing president in our lifetimes, who, do you support Trump or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got this vice president handpicked by Trump, who is extremely intelligent, very right wing. I think he's a pretty good looking guy. I don't know, maybe I guess you disagree, but he's all these things, checks all these boxes, would have all these great policies.
Imagine saying J.D. Vance. Did he just say J.D. Vance is a good looking guy? I can't. Or was he talking about, sorry, I need to go back just to make sure I heard it correct.
Intelligent. So you got president in our lifetimes, who, do you support Trump or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got this vice president handpicked by Trump, who is extremely intelligent, very right wing. I think he's a pretty good looking guy. I don't know, maybe I guess you disagree, but he's all these things, checks all these boxes, would have all these great policies, and regardless, you're going to pick the pro mass migrant, pro-trans, pro-murder the babies, pro-burn the cities to the ground, pro-BLM Democrat because he's skinnier than the conservative vice president.
100 times over. Yeah. J.D. Vance, would he be a better candidate and probably closer to me in terms of policy than Gavin Newsom? Yes, but he's just not going to be good enough to be deserving. I think the right has kind of let down the voters for the longest time. So I think
But actually true. The problem with the right is that they win too hard and then they don't actually follow through with any of their promises.
I don't really think that right-wingers should just give support to these jesters who continue to underdeliver on their promises. You know, just let the Democrats win. That's kind of what I'm talking about in terms of just like why I don't support Vance as a voter. But
so you're saying no, they shouldn't vote for any Republican. The right-wingers should not vote for the Republican.
Not until the right actually wants to do the things that they're promising.
So is there a candidate you would prefer? I assume you don't actually want to vote for Newsom. Maybe you do. Maybe you are a Democrat. No. Okay. So then who's a right-winger you want to vote for? Or maybe there isn't one.
No, yeah, there really isn't one. That's
kind of doomer, isn't it? So now you're saying if you're a real hardcore...
I'm so happy that the right is filled with people like this. Oh my God. So 1 second. Let me, I just remembered. I saw this clip ages ago and I just put 2 and 2 together that this is the same guy who takes meth to lean max.
So methamphetamine as a stimulant and to lean max, right? It's very suppressant of your appetite. It's a very long-acting stimulant. So this is something that I've started using in place of Adderall, right? Because Adderall is 75% dextroamphetamine and 25% levoamphetamine. So the levoamphetamine, I really didn't like it. It's too much of a physical CNS stimulant. So if you're trying to work, it because it's going to be too much, too jittery. Whereas, you know, the meth is a little bit better in terms of its dopamine release, you know, just being targeted for the brain, crosses the blood-brain barrier a lot quicker. And when you say crystal meth, it sounds outrageous because a lot of people don't know that meth has different isomers, right? So the street, the L-methamphetamine is what people are smoking, what people are tweaking out on, and what makes them addicted, right? So this is not the stuff that I'm using, right? I'm using like very, very low therapeutic dosages of D-methamphetamine, which is actually something that's prescribed by doctors. It's called Disoxin. I say meth as a shock factor because of how outrageous it sounds. So with people watching Breaking Bad and seeing meth tweakers, you hear, oh my God, this guy's so crazy. But you actually inform people, no, Disoxin is a prescribed medication, and I'm taking a very low dose of this, like 10 times lower than the prescribed amount, you know, just as a mild stimulant.
So I have a couple of things to say. Unfortunately, the problem with being this guy is that you sound fucking insane, even if what you're saying is technically correct. So all of the details of this shit is, I'm like 99% sure all of what he's said so far is accurate. And you can, I'm pretty sure Disoxin is very hard to get, but you can technically get a Disoxin prescription. Unfortunately, you sound like it's kind of like, you know, the joke about like why you don't make the distinction between ephebophile and pedophile, and it's because it makes you sound like a pedophile. You don't make this distinction about Disoxin or meth or amphetamine in the way that dextroamphetamines, the way that he's talking about it, because then it makes you sound like a meth head. That's the problem. He's a strategic meth head. And the reason why I get this is because I am also just a little of this type of insane. Just barely. Like I have a natural curiosity, and I liked him in Max, which are not a good combination because I am one step away from becoming this insane. Because I did buy. Now, I saw a post online talking about caffeine and how caffeine is like metabolized, and how this one person was reporting that instead of using normal cane sugar or whatever, they've started using dextrose in their coffee. And because dextrose is almost identical to the glucose that your body eventually turns like all carbs into, it gets metabolized really quickly and it can be used for energy really quickly. And so I bought dextrose. And dextrose, for anyone who knows anything about like oses, it's just a sugar. It's like corn or wheat sugar. So it's just sugar. Dextrose is just sugar, okay? But I was like, well, I need to know. I have a natural curiosity for these things. So I bought dextrose, and now I've been making coffee with my dextrose, every morning. And it's actually pretty dope. The coffee hits really fast, really quickly. And yeah, for anyone who's like, whoa, I don't know what this is. You can use dextrose. There are a lot of sweets that use dextrose, because the different sugars operate differently for different sweets. I know when I was taking a baking class for fun, there were a lot of times where we would use like inverted sugar, and there was, I think, times that we would use something else, and I'm like blanking on the name for it. But different sugars do different things and whatever. Dextrose is just the simplest form of sugar, has high glycemic index, which spikes insulin quicker for strength training. Yeah, so I've been trying this. And they sell like dextrose. You can buy it at like a Target. I bought it online. Denims experiment. It's just sugar. It's just sugar. Like it's literally just sugar. There's nothing scary about dextrose. It just sounds like whatever. They brown and caramelize different. Exactly. Also, I'm not suggesting anyone take it. I know that it might interact in a weird way if you are diabetic. So make your own decisions or whatever. But anyways, yeah, I've been putting dextrose in my coffee, and it hits so hard. The coffee is so smooth. I don't know how to explain it. I've never had caffeine hit so hard in my body before that point. I'm biohacking. I'm on biohacking websites confirmed. So like my point is, it's okay to be a little. Did you do a blind taste test with regular sugar? I should do that. But anyways, all of that's to say, listen, I'm down to do a lot of stupid shit for science. I'm down to do some experiments on myself for science. I feel like once you're getting a Desoxin prescription, you need to take a step back. You might be just you just need to take a step back, man. You need to take a step back, okay? You need to. I understand that it is an FDA approved legal stimulant, but stop.
It's much more mild than Adderall, actually, and you know, it works a little better for me, and I use it to lean max, right? So I'm pretty much using hollow cheeks.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at in terms of looks maxing. But I just like to say stuff like that for the shock factor, because it's just like an initial hook. But then I could really explain it to you, and you realize, hey, that's actually not so crazy. I use
So, and this is just my understanding. If you're a fucking doctor, you can just ignore me. I don't really care. It's fine. My understanding on this stuff is like methamphetamines, meth, is definitely neurotoxic at repeated high dosages. I want to compare it mildly compare it to cigarettes or to alcohol. Alcohol is a great example. Actually, alcohol is the perfect example, where alcohol is definitely carcinogenic. Alcohol is cancer inducing. Okay. If you have a lot of alcohol, you need to stop, because you are going to give yourself or increase the chances of giving yourself cancer. It is not, alcohol is not, it's not just not good for you because it makes you gain weight or whatever. It's also definitely carcinogenic. But you can have like a drink every once in a while, right? You're not going to explode because you had one, you know, fucking wine with your friends or whatever, or you went to a fun like New Year's party and you don't really drink. That's fine. Also destroys your liver. I mean, I would say it being cancer inducing is worse than it destroying your liver, but maybe that's I don't know. That's my opinion. Anyways, and with that in mind, I don't drink unless I'm at like a function or at a party. If I'm there, then it's like, you know what? Sure, I'll have one. And from my understanding, the evidence that we have about neurotoxicity is that at high doses, at repeated use, meth is very bad for you. But theoretically, if you could somehow manage to not get horribly addicted to this very addictive drug, theoretically, you could do what he's talking about. You are a fucking sociopath and a crazy person to even try it. But I mean, okay, I don't think you should. I don't think you should try it. But okay, sure. He said he's on a lower dose than Adderall, to be fair. But that's just a theory. So that's in the same way that like nicotine, for example, has like, unfortunately, a lot of positive brain effects. But nicotine is so addicting that it's very hard for people to consume nicotine in a non-addictive way. It's so easy to get addicted to nicotine. And God forbid you get addicted to the nicotine that's really bad for you. Because like the thing is, cigarettes are terrible for you. Vaping isn't great for you. The least harmful are like Zins, but the thing is, from what I read online, Zins can still cause receding gums, so that you can still get gum damage, but it's the least harmful. Theoretically, if you could pop a Zin, just to be chill for something important or whatever, and you can manage to not get horribly addicted, then I mean, I guess I don't know that you can, but it can cause mouth cancer. So can Zins cause mouth cancer? I don't know anything about that. From what I've read online, there's not enough research. Just a quick Google search right now. They haven't been around long enough. Everything that I'm reading says this may include a risk of oral cancers, though more research is necessary.